Okay, this is the second day I was owning the S1 and I brought it to a wedding. So these are all shots that are directly out of camera. Here I was super impressed because it's mixed lighting. We got tungsten lights coming from above and windows which are cast in the blue. And it looks really good, especially compared to the GH5. Here, testing the tracking as focus goes in. It's not great. It does a reasonable job, but every single time I've tried this, it loses focus at some point during this kind of tracking shot, like right there, which is not good for me. But the dynamic range on this camera is spectacular. The color science, they really did a great job of making it really, really usable. So we got blue from the left and orange from the right, and it's not doing any of that weird orange magenta stuff that the GH5 does. Yeah, looks good. The image quality in terms of sharpness is really nice. Here I'm on a glide cam outside, 24 frames a second. Looks good. Switching over to 60 frames a second. It tracks reasonably. Here I missed focus. It's really hard to see sometimes if you're in focus, but the high ISO performance is pretty awesome. I think this is 2500 ISO, and again, missing the focus a little bit, especially when it comes to darker areas. But when it gets it, it sure gets it good. Again, on a glide cam here, it's 60 frames a second in 4K at I think 2500 or 3200 ISO. And then another tracking shot moving in. Now, compared to the 1DX Mark II, this has really, really nice dynamic range. And I know I'm a little warm here on the white balance, but it looks good. Here, trying to get a ring shot, it really couldn't get the focus. Again, disappointed with the focus a little bit. But it feels, with the battery grip on it, it feels exactly like a 1DX Mark II, which is terrific because I threw it right on my glide cam. Didn't need any real adjustments to make it happen. Here again, missed the focus. It's focused on the tree in the background. Not great, but this one it did nail the focus. And one of the most impressive things about this is those Leica lenses. They have a really, really nice coating on it. The lens flares that come out of the camera are super, super good looking. It reminds me of Canon's coating. The lens flares from the sunset look super, super good. Here, I'm seeing if it can hold the focus on the side of a face with face tracking. Does a reasonable job. There, it does a really good job. But I love the sharpness. The sharpness looks really good. Even when you're a little orange, you can get a little sun flare here. But you see how it doesn't get all crazy. I love the look of the lens in terms of the coating and the flare. It does a reasonable job of tracking. You can see if you look at a ring, it does a little bit of jumping. It does a great job tracking that ring shot, and the lens flare looks super. None of these shots are color corrected. Again, trying to push in, and it can't hold it when on face tracking, and that's disappointing. Which means that walking down the aisle shots are not really going to be good. You have to manually focus. But it feels terrific. The bokeh, even at f4, looks supreme. Does a reasonable job of tracking there. Here, a little bit underexposed on the skin, but like I said, this is all straight out of camera, something you could easily fix. It does a good job of retaining highlights. The highlight roll-off is very impressive. This is just shooting with the neutral or natural, I don't remember which one, profile. I did not shoot anything in the 10-bit because I don't like screwing with the high log gamma. It's too much work for a wedding unless you're tossing LUTs on there, which I don't do.